Hi, good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to make this video, which will be about how my what I'm doing in the market in the current situation. And I had just published one article on the Technical Take today, describing what I had done last week, which is basically I was focusing on just a handful of names. These four: Apari, Mudra, Lind, and Godfrey, and all four of them sort of broke out and gave a good breakout. And so in this video, what I'm gonna do is show the complete um, the complete process from stock selection, scanning, and how I get ready with these stocks in the for the next day. So let's quickly dive right in. So you guys all have these top 25, 2.5% strongest stock wala dashboard, and in this the third one is the one which you need to focus on. So this is what it does. It basically gives you top 100 names from the NSE universe, which basically has about 2,000 stocks, and so 100 stocks out of 2,000 stocks would be the top 5%, right? And what I am the relative strength performance is being calculated in the last 50 days. So for example, Motors has given a performance of 113% over the last 50 days, followed by Solzer, Azad, and so on and so forth, right? So how do you then first bring this names to the trading view? Well, this is the shortest way I know for now. So what you do is you download it, and then you open that downloaded file. Um, so here it is, right? So what I do is I just put a comma alongside the names. So there is 100. You can also choose to only scan top 50 or even more than top 100, right? So but I think top 100 works. So then you copy this. So what I did is Command C on my computer, and then take this to the best stocks ultimate watch list, which I have, and the link is also in the HPA sheet, right? So this was the one which I already had. So every week you can do this exercise every day if you have time, or even every week is fine, because in a week the top performers will not drastically change. The top 5% performers would still be the most likely names which will sort of give you are positioned to give you a good move. So I'll quickly clear the list, and I will say paste this new list here. Okay. Once I do that, I quickly see if all of the names. So, for example, a couple of the names will not be exactly the same. So, GETD, because the here the and is read as underscore, so that will not be the same. So sometimes Bajaj Auto, GETD, and a couple of other names will not be the same. So I will fix this first, and I'll put it exactly where GETD is placed, right? So you can also see the order also remains the same, which means the highest relative strength will be at the top, and the non and the 100th would be at the bottom, right? Now this is it. And you see what happens is every day, even if you add new names, what happens is there will be only couple of names added, let's say 5 or 10 maximum, right? Because most of the top 100 names would still remain the same. And again, you also it seems like you will take 10-20 minutes to go through the whole list, but it's not true, because many of the names you've already been doing it for the past some days or whenever you've started, right? So for me, I know how Solzer looks like, Azad looks like, High Tech looks like, Schneider looks like, Jyoti, because I've been doing this for some time now, and I know the top 10 top 5% names or so. So you basically then go um, you basically go one by one and see if any of them, or any of the, if which of the stocks are setting up currently. So for example, in Force Motors, this is right now, although this could now go ballistic, I would not be this is not my setup, right? So make sure things are in your setup. So somewhere here would probably be the setup, or even here, because this is not extended, still at the only pivot. So one by one we go through and see if there is any tight area. So solver is a setup, and what you do is you mark the pivot high of the consolidation, and when that's breaking out, that's your entry, right? Azad is a very good name. Day before, sorry, yesterday, Friday, there was an entry, but it again squatted. But again, this entry hasn't failed yet, and now the next alert would go on today's high, because if today's high, this day's high is getting taken out, that's also a good entry again, right? So Azad is again high priority. High tech is not high priority because this is possibly a high tide flag, the the pole of the high tide flag setting up. So I will mark it in some other color, so the good ones I will mark with red. So Schneider is not it's not a ripe setup, because there's just 2 days of sideways consolidation. At least 5 days is good for you, okay? So, but it's still something which I would like to have it on my radar, because I know this is a very strong stock backed by strong what's the word, theme, so it's a part of a big theme. Jyoti CNC is a very ripe name. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of consolidation, and the mass curling up. So this will be in my high priority list. Websol is not a high priority list, that's why it's not a red mark. ACE is a high priority list, is a very high priority list, especially the last, this is a very tight, this one, okay? And so what I'll do is I'll quickly take this guy and mark this. Now you can choose to mark this wherever you think is a good entry. For that one, it can be the high of the mother bullish candle, high of the whole flag, or an early entry would be when it's like, this would be an sort of a anticipatory kind of entry, right? So ACE is very high probability. Sangvi, again, sister stocks to ACE, a good name. Inox India, yeah, so this is currently not very high priority because it's already gone up. SML Isuzu was a good buy here. Again, SML Isuzu and Force Motor, these two guys can still do well, okay? And it looks like, because there is no sellers when with low volumes, when the price still is inching up, you know that even that whatever small buying, that buying is happening at higher and higher prices, which means there's very high demand but not so much of supply coming in, right? So again, I'm not comfortable buying here, but if you are like very tight risk, with a very tight risk, which means, like, let's say in this case, low of the of this day, you can still buy it, okay? But I mean, I'm generally trying to make a habit of not buying these things, even if one of could make a give you a good return. So Mudra was a very nice name. So my this thing, my alert was set here, and so when this went off, my alert also went off. Although whenever I trade, I look for things which gives me margin, so I go in with a bigger size, and once the trade works for me, I sell at least 50, 60 or 80% of that, and only the rest 10%, 10-20% I sort of take home. It's called a peeling. Shaili is a very high probability name in my list. Why? Because this is also a big base. Okay, if you see this base, this is a big base. It's a cup-like thingy, and now the handle is sort of getting formed, right? You can even say that this above this would be an entry, and I will agree to that, right? So Shaili is a good name. Trill, there is no entry here. KPI Green, there is a nice entry here above this one, and this would be like sort of cheat pivot, and you will also see this is also a DTL based breakout, right? So yeah, but I would make sure I would be more comfortable in this one. So KPI, SMS Pharma is not an entry today. It was an entry sort of yesterday. It's like sort of gone. Again, make sure that you are looking for a very tight area. Rico Auto, although is a very strong name, but I don't like the price action. It's very not compact. Taj GVK Hotel has an entry, so here, and we don't, this should not bother us so much. Remember, EIH Hotel also had a fake out day, but whenever there's a fake out, in my opinion, the real breakout is near. So Taj GVK, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 to 6 days of very tight consolidation is a very nice. So EIH. So this, so we had a here, but it still sort of went out. And so EIH, there is no this one. DSSL is a very nice high probability tight area for swing trade, right? And yeah, so this is in a very high so as you find these names, what you also do is, for example, Kalyani Steel is again another very high probability name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of tightness. So what you also do is you add this to my tight watch list. Okay, so I've already done that, so I'm not showing you here. And every time you find a tight name, you just add it to your watch list. So KPIL is not tight, it's basically inching up. But again, this breakout is tradable because this is like a decently sized base, right? Time Techno is not a very tight name. Oil is, I mean, this big base breakout might be tradable, but I would really want a tight area here, so I'm not very interested in that name right now. Asal, this was a big base breakout, I mean decently sized base breakout. Not interested currently. Orchid is something I'm interested in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days of very tight action. So this this is also possibly in the list. Come on, add Orchid Pharma. Okay, this is not. So I'll quickly put that on the tight list. Genesis, no entry. GETD, no entry. I mean, no tight entry. Shilpa was a tight entry here, but not now. See, and I was also marking this. I was also tracking this. Indian Overseas Bank, one could say this is tight, but not enough for me. Not to say that it might not go and do well, but that's just how it is. So BF Utility was a very tight area. This was a very nice low cheat pivot. Currently the pivot is now here, and I would expect a tight area before the blast. So right now this is not very good, and so I will not be putting it to the tight watch list. So Torrent Power, not interested. I mean, see, these are very strong stocks, okay, but the 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 right place to enter would are gone, and that's why I'm saying that I'm not interested. Not that if Torrent Power or Thermax now sets up with another tight area, of course I'll be interested, but not currently right now. Nuvama is also a tight area, but I just don't like this inching up structure. But this is very nice. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you see that the volatility each day is also decreasing. Volatility is decreasing. So why volatility? What is it? It's basically a range, right? So if you see, this range was almost about 7%, then the next day was -6%, then the next day was 3%, 4%, then the next day was 3%, then the next day was 2%. So it cannot go to this contraction cannot go to zero or negative, right? So one fine day it has to go up, and that day it will probably break out, because from the volumes and the price action, you know that this guy is a very strong name, right? And so once you have a very tight name, and you also like the stock, what you can basically do is set a GTT position, so that whenever it breaks, you get into the trade, even if you are not watching it. Bharat Bijli is tight, is getting tight. Okay, there is a slight positive slope to the tightness, but in my opinion, this is because the stock is very bullish. Okay, so in this case, you can again put a say whenever the price is exiting the channel, it will be signaled on the TradingView app, right? Okay, so quickly checking BBL is in the watch list or not. I'll put it there if it is not, and it's also tightening right after the base breakout, right? So flags below the base breakout pivot, above the base breakout pivot, those are the places to be. Infra is good, but only 2 days of tightness, but the level of tightness, the quality of tightness is really good. Very close, very small range, right? But not enough. 2 days. Um, So Zomato sort of was a breakout of a tight area. I mean, again, this is a little loose, but you can see that there is volatility contraction T1 T2, and this could have been this is a valid entry, right? Um, Paisa Lelo IFB was a good one until today, but sometimes I've seen, I mean, not sometimes, but the price action, how it works is if it's a um, yeah, I just say that this still might work. Okay. Um, so Godfrey similarly they broke out here, and my expectation was that it would at least give me a another day of follow through, but it just did not. Um, but hopefully, this candle is a very nice candle, very small range, and I'm hoping that we will get a reversal from here. We also have a very nice what is this called? This is a supporting trend line also there. Nothing here. Zen Technologies, IV. This was the day. Data patterns. Similarly, this was my entry. This is stock I hold, and hopefully now this gap upper boundary acts as a support, and then we have a bounce. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put yeah, and I think this is already on my list of tight. Um, moving on, in this is also nice. This could have been an entry. One could still enter above that. Apologies for the very slow movement of the screen. My internet sucks here wherever I am right now. Okay, but you get the idea here. So this was an entry day. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of tightness, and if you had alarm clock set here, then you would have got these 2 days come move. Gulf Lubricants, again, Gulf Lubricants is currently setting up. It's not ready yet. If you want to add some more or TA tools to that, is basically the pullback whenever it comes to the 5 MA or the 10 MA or sometimes even the 20 MA, that it becomes more ready. So that is something which you can also um, inculcate in your in this one. NCC was a good entry yesterday or like last Friday. Voltamp is getting tighter, but I just don't like this almost saying that hey, I'm gonna fall through. Like the curve is saying that hey, like my whatever momentum I had here is now going to fall through. I'm going to pull back and then get some strength and then get up, right? So um, um, again, these things also can move up, but try not to pick those. 1, 2, 3, 4 days of tightness. This is not bad. Let's say there is another 1 day of tightness, and this might be a very nice name. All right. NBCC, no tightness. Tightness is gone. Nothing in Nat Aluminium. Again, ABB is a very strong stock. Siemens, ABB, these names. But the thing is, like, I I generally like to enter here rather than here. You get my point, right? So there's a little bigger, little slighter, bigger base. Um, MRPL, yeah, this is a legit entry. This would be a cheat entry. And also, if you see that I am more, I mean, this is from my experience of trading a lot of setups and trading stocks wherever I can. The relative strength near zero and going up gives me more sense of lower risk and a high probability trade rather than when the mass is at the top. So I'm always gravitated towards. So, for example, the difference between ABB is that the relative strength is already at around 22 here, right? And so this doesn't give me a sense of um, like it's coming off from a low risk kind of a area, whereas MRPL right now is at inside the base, but the relative strength is now sort of threatening to increase. So this gives me more um, higher sense of risk reward. I might be totally wrong. Um, Epigral. PNB getting tighter, but it's not ready yet. Walkart. I really like Walkart. I really like, and this is probably the in the top 10 high priority trades. Okay. The relative strength has been increasing from here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of tightness, which is very tight, which is like very low volumes, also very low volatility, and these are the names I'm looking out for. So Zydus today would have been a good sort of a pullback confirmation PVC trade. Also, the purple dot appearing at the below saying that the strength in the counter is coming back. Although the breakout entry is here, but again, just pointing out that there was a valid entry here as well. Siemens, Hoodco, that was the entry. No tight entry currently. Skipper is something which I like again. Why? Because you see the relative strength cross zero and now coming back to the moving average, and generally these moving averages once it's again shooting up from the moving average, at that time this breakout if coincides, that would be a high probability. And so this is so similarly again APAR, you see once this guy sort of crossed on this day, this I was already making some humble opinions in the group saying that this could now fire up, right? So these are the subtle price action things which I will be looking at. Gujarat Pipapav is also getting tight. The volumes are a little higher to my liking, but not a problem. This looks decent. Okay. So if I this should also go to the tight list, although this will be a little lower down down my this one. So again, UCO Bank, this you can say that it's a valid. This is actually a valid this one. So you can see that the mass is also now above zero and threatening to move up. 3 days of tightness. Also, this would be breakout above the AVWAP from the base high, right? So that is a strong resistance. You can also see the last 2 times this has been acting as resistance. So this makes it even a stronger resistance. And if that resistance is taken out, then that would be a valid entry. And UCO Bank is also one of the stronger banks, right? So you can put that to the strong list, or you can also mark it. Yeah, so BSE, I will be looking to. I couldn't add this. I just did not have the stomach to add on this big base breakout. Although I was looking forward to trade this, I just could not have the stomach to trade this. But I will be looking to add on the PBC entry here. OFFS is another good name here. It's getting tighter and tighter. Somehow I also feel that it wants to go down, but if it goes up, it's a valid setup. Bosch again. Bosch is in the same group as Siemens and ABB, and there was another one. Yeah, very strong. This could be. This is a tight area. This could be an entry. if those breakouts also coincide with the mass uh, moving above the 9 EMA, that is a very healthy sign, right? The next one is Canara Bank. Canara Bank is gone. This was the ideal entry. Um, okay, so sale is also like pulling back, going sideways, and if you want, yeah, this can be a valid way to put your alert. I'm not very interested in this. I'm not sure why. Aluwalia container. This I'm very interested in. This would be a lower cheat or cheat pivot, and you can see that I like the volumes. I like everything. I like the prior uptrend. I also like the fact that it is very near to the it's very near to the Mars zero, and possibly will make a higher high on Mars after this trending downward. So I have a I have a higher sense of the risk reward, low risk and higher reward from this counter. Um, Moving on to more names. JSW Holdings again. This possibly can be traded with when it's breaking out of here, but I still feel that it can take some time. Sudarshan Chemical. Sudarshan Chemical is something which I really like. I mean, not really like, but again, the tightness is not bad. You know, it's getting tighter and tighter. Bajaj Hindustan would like some more tightness, but can be tradable. Imagica. You see, whenever you get a tight area and break out of that tight area on this, and you can see that on the Mars that there are there are a couple of significant things happen. So in this case, the day before we had the crossover of the 9 EMA, and the 9 EMA had always been sort of the Mars had always been below the 9 EMA. So when that change happens, you know that the counter is getting strong. Also on the same day, Mars also crosses above zero. So these are high probability trades. All right. Electrocast steel electrocast steel would be a good positional entry above this. This would be a big base breakout. Hopefully it gives us a handle for a higher and tighter risk management. Shriram Piston is like sloping up. Don't like it so much. Not so much. Pitti. So Pitti was an entry on today, like last Friday, right? So we had 1, 2, 3 days of quite tight price action. The day before, already the volume started to come in, and it was a signal that hey, there might be more bullishness coming in. Also looks to me like this is trying to be a bullish on bullish breakout, which means that it is breaking out of an already bullish resistance. So yeah, could still be a good entry if you get an entry near and about. Okay, so that concludes our list. So those and then the next day, what you do is you just go and make sure that you so you have a lot of name here still. I generally try to only keep sort of 5 to 10 names maximum as the ones where I absolutely am interested in. And what I do is I try to uh, put them one after the other from the top. So apart, I'm invested, and that's why it's on the top. Imudra, not so much right now. If it gets tight again, then maybe. Godfrey also I'm invested, so that's in the top. So for example, the next ones I'm very much interested would be KSL. So KSL would be in the top. Aluwalia container is also I'm interested, so this is also at the top. Shelly Plastic, as sort of a trade which I can also think about in positional terms. That is why this guy is on the top. KPI Green, because it's KPI Green, that's why it's in the top. I'm very very interested in Jyoti CNC, so I might bump Jyoti CNC a little higher. Also very much interested in this guy. So just like putting the top names on top. Wokart also is a top name. DSSL is a top name. Um, so that's how I am. That's how I manage the trades. And this should not take more than, let's say, half an hour, right? Um, okay. So that was a quick video about this, guys, and I hope to see you soon. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.